So, my dear friends, once again we are here to discuss some compensation techniques used in power system, and the technique is shunt compensation using capacitor and inductor. That's very important, and for that I'm coming to the point directly. And the power system we are taking, this is our sending in voltage, and this is inductor, we can say L, and this is a receiving in voltage, right? And this is our shunt capacitance. Here is, we can use grounding here, so this is capacitance. Now what we are doing here, on load condition, just to improve the power factor, as I told you earlier that shunt reactor is used at no load condition to act as load, and shunt capacitor that is used when power system is operating on full load. Just to improve the power factor, we are using capacitor to improve our power factor. And I'll certainly, yes, I'll see solving a problem based on this shunt compensation using capacitor. We'll see the problem. Okay, so first we have to derive the relation using theoretical condition, and our motive, what our motive is, our motive is to find out the surge impedance loading, right? So certainly we are again counting the lossless line. We are assuming that our power system is lossless. Okay, so lossless means we are having Z naught, or Z naught, this is equal to under root L by C. This will be our first equation. So what we are doing here, we are connecting here a shunt capacitor, and that is in parallel with our shunt capacitance, right? So this is the capacitor that is used for the compensation, right? That is used for the compensation. So now the impedance, this is SIL from this characteristic impedance we can count. So what will be SIL, surge impedance loading? This will be equal to VT square and divided by Z naught, we can write, right? So this is our equation number 2. This is our SIL we are getting directly for lossless line, right? I have discussed in our previous lecture what is the value of Z naught for overhead lines as well as for cables. We have already discussed, and for distortionless line we have derived the relation distortionless line. For distortionless line, we have got already R by G, and this will be equal to L by C. So already we have derived the relation, right? So now what we are doing here, we have to find out for some compensation what is happening and what is the change we are getting when we are using this capacitor as shunt, right? So we are connecting a capacitor. So what will be, directly we can calculate what will be this, because these are connected in parallel. So what will be the total capacitance, equivalent capacitance what we are getting? So we can now write down, this is Y, because this is connected in shunt, and our circuit theory suggests that if you are having impedances in parallel, to try to go to solve that circuit using admittance. So instead of impedance, we have to use admittance. And if we are talking about series connected system, so certainly we have to go through for impedance, we calculate impedance of the total circuit, right? Impedance of the circuit. So for series, impedance, and for parallel, admittance. Because these two are connected in parallel, then certainly we should go for admittance. So what should be this? So what we can write here, this we can write 1 by Z equivalent is equal to 1 by Z1 and 1 by Z2, right? This is the parallel combination of impedances. So we can write here Y equivalent, and this will be equal to Y1 and plus Y2, right? So admittance of, So what we are getting? We are getting here, j omega c nu, and this will be equal to, this is j omega c and plus j omega c sh. So we can get here j omega as common. This is c nu, and this we can write j omega common, and this is c plus c sh. This gets cancelled. So what we are getting, c nu is equal to c plus c sh. And if we are taking, common c, so we are getting here 1 plus c sh and divided by c, right? So after that point we can, we can write here, after this point we can write here what? So this c nu will be equal to c into 1 plus c sh upon c. So this we can write 1 plus k. So k is compensation factor, we can say compensation factor for shunt compensation. So this is, we can write, k sh, right? This will be k sh. So what we are getting here, ksh is ksh, we can write ksh is equal to csh, shunt capacitance divided by capacitance shunt. This is, capacitance of the line, right? So this is the ratio csh upon c. So now this is the factor. So what will be the next? So next is our z naught. This will be modified as z naught will be equal to under root L by, this is c nu. So what we can write as c nu? So we can write here L divided by, and in place of c nu we can place it 1 plus ksh, right? This is ksh. So this is all about our equation. So we are getting here, this is our new equation, and that is, after this is third equation we can say, and this we can say as fourth equation. So using all fourth equation, what we can write? So we can now get as, what is the value now? So using all the four equations, what we are getting here, just note it down. From first and fourth, from first and fourth, what we are getting? So this is z naught dash, and this is new, new after connecting shunt capacitor we are getting. So this is L by C and 1 plus ksh, and as we know k is equal to ksh is equal to csh upon c. So what we can write? We can write here L by C into 1 by 1 plus ksh. So we can write here z under root L by C into 1 by under root 1 plus ksh. So this z naught dash can become z naught into 1 by under root 1 plus ksh. This is our equation number 5th. This is our equation number 5th. Now what will be SIL dash? SIL new. It means new SIL. What will be new SIL? So this new SIL will be equal to VT square upon Z naught dash. Z naught dash. Right? So we can write here, this is VT square and Z naught. In place of Z naught, we can write here Z naught. This is under root L by C. So this is only, this Z naught is in numerator. Mind it, this is a numerator. So this is in numerator, and this we can write under root 1 plus ksh. Right? So what we can write here? We can write here, this is becoming, what is, so this VT square upon Z naught, and VT square upon Z naught is nothing but SIL. So we can write this 1 by under root 1 plus ksh. It is going into numerator. This is 1 plus under root ksh. This is VT square by Z naught. This is VT square by Z naught. So what we are getting SIL dash? So SIL dash we are getting as this SIL we are getting as, you know, SIL times under root 1 plus KSH. So this is the expression, this is the new SIL. So we are getting here SIL dash is equal to SIL into under root 1 plus KSH, where KSH is the ratio of CSH upon C. This is our case, right? So certainly after compensation we can say there is a change in SIL, and this SIL is now SIL dash and divided by under root 1 plus KSH, right? So this is the expression we are getting for, you know, shunt compensation. Later on we will discuss another problem, but first we have to see shunt compensation using capacitor, and then after we will see the shunt compensation using inductor. Now it's the turn of inductor. So how we are getting shunt compensation when we are connecting in an inductor in parallel with the capacitance of the line, right? So this is the case. Fine, I hope it is very much clear to all of you. Yeah, board is again clear, so fine. It is the turn of, you know, shunt compensation using reactor or inductor. So what we can write, we can draw as, this is sending in voltage, this is line inductance of the line, and this we can connect as, this is capacitance C, and now here we are connecting, you know, inductor, and I have already told you what is the significance of this inductor. So what we are doing here, so again, so this is lossless line, so Z0 we can get, Z0 is equal to under root L by C, this is characteristic impedance. What will be SIL? So SIL will be equal to VT square upon Z0, we can write, this is equation number 2. Again this is connected in parallel, so for parallel we are counting, you know, admittance. So admittance we write here, so you know, right, I'm writing on this part only. So this is J omega C nu, and this will be equal to J omega C and plus 1 by J omega LSH, right? What we are counting here we are counting admittance equivalent is equal to admittance of C and plus admittance of, you know, LSH, it means shunt. So what we can write here, we can get here J omega C nu, and this will be equal to J omega C and minus J, we are multiplying with J numerator and denominator, so J square will be ultimately equal to minus 1, so J square is equal to minus 1, so we are getting here minus J, and this is omega LSH, omega LSH, shunt reactor. So if we are taking common J omega, so what we are getting here, this is C, right, and minus 1 by omega square LSH, right? And if we are taking C also, so what we can write, omega C 1 minus omega square LSH into C, right? This is our expression. If we are multiplying with J omega C, so the first term will be J omega C and the second term will be omega C, and omega C gets cancelled, right? So omega LSH we are getting. So this is the case, this is new, you know, capacitance. So we can write, no need to get it connected, this we can get cancelled here. So C new capacitance will be equal to, you know, C into 1 minus K, and this is K reactor, this is called SR, means shunt reactor, SR means shunt reactor. So K is, we can say, degree of compensation, up to what extent you are compensating the system, so we call it degree of compensation So this degree of compensation will be equal to 1 by omega square LSH into C. So we are getting here C nu as, you know, C into 1 minus KSR shunt reactor. So what we are getting new characteristic impedance as, we can call it here, this is third expression, we can, so sorry, this is third, we can call it third, this we can count is at fourth. So Z0 is equal to under root L by C nu. So what we can write here, L by, in place of C nu we can write here 1 minus KSR. So this we can write under root L by C into under root 1 by 1 minus KSR, right? So this will be equal to Z0 by under root 1 minus KSR. So this is Z0 dash. This is our equation number 5th. This Z0 is dash is equal to Z0 by under root 1 minus KSR, our equation number 6th. So now what we can write here, we can write here SIL dash, and this will be equal to VT square upon Z0 dash. So this we can write VT square and divided by, you know, in place of Z0 we can write Z0 by under root 1 minus KSR. So this will be equal to VT square by Z0, and this is under root 1 minus KSR. And what is KSR? KSR is, you know, 1 by omega square LSH into C. So this will be equal to SIL and under root 1 minus KSH. This is SIL dash. So what is the factor we are getting here? SIL dash is equal to SIL into 1 minus KSH. Right. So this is all about, you know, our shunt reactor compensation. Now we are going to solve a numerical so that we can move further. SIL dash is equal to SIL under root 1 minus KSH. Right. So this is the expression. So this and K is the degree of compensation. Okay. So now we are moving towards, you know, the calculation, or we can see using numerical, some numerical we can go through it. So आइए एक जल्दी से एक प्रॉब्लम की तरफ आगे बढ़ते हैं, because we have calculated for shunt capacitor compensation and shunt inductor or reactor compensation. So now we are moving with an example, or we will try to solve a numerical, okay, based on it. Actually this is the question, that is when a capacitor is connected in parallel with the load. So what is the role of the capacitor when it is connected at the load end in parallel or in parallel with the load? So what is doing there? What is the role of the capacitor? We will go through it and we will see, right? So the question is, you know, the question is, we are provided with a single phase load, and we are provided with a impedance, and impedance is given, okay, load is single phase type, and it is connected with parallel. The question is a 240 volt, right, a 240 volt single phase. So VT we are provided with, you can see the question on the screen, so not an issue. A 240 volt single phase, you know, source is connected to a load with an impedance. So load impedance we are provided with, load impedance we are provided with, you know, 10 angle 60 degree ohm. So my dear sir, first I would like to explain what is the nature of the load. This is Z, and ZL is equal to 10 angle 60 degree plus 60 degree plus indicating, it indicates that it is inductive load. It means it is going to absorb your reactive power. This is inductive load, so it is going to absorb your reactive power. If it would have been ZL is equal to 10 minus 60 degree, then that was then positive angle, then negative angle must indicate that it is capacitive load. it is capacitive load. So what is the role of that load? It means this load will provide you the reactive power, right? But our present case, we are provided with load impedance 10 angle 60 degree. Mind it, it means you have to provide additional, or you have to provide reactive power using capacitor. So what will be the role of the capacitor here? Role of capacitor is to provide you the reactive power, because this is inductive load and it will consume active power as well as reactive power. All these things I have already discussed in our previous lecture, so you can go through that lecture. So ZL is equal to 10 angle 60 degree. So now a capacitor is connected in parallel with the load. So this is, for example, this is your Vs, this is our inductor, this we can say our capacitor, and this is our ZL. And now what is, so a capacitor is connected in parallel. So V, and this is terminal voltage. So this terminal voltage will be applied here. This is Vt, right? So this capacitor we are going to connect, right, with the load. If the capacitor supplies 1250, obvious, it's very obvious. We already know. You need not to explain it. We are knowing it, that when we are connecting capacitor in parallel with, then certainly capacitor will supply you reactive power. So they are saying that capacitor is supplying you the reactive power of 1250 var. This is supplying this much reactive power, right? This much reactive power. It means it is QC is, it is supplying. So JQC we can write minus J, and this is 1250 var. This is the reactive power supplied by capacitor. So I'll try my level best to solve this problem using power factor, or power angle. And power angle is what I am going to explain. So this is your Vt and this is your S. So Vt into Ia cos phi. So this is your power, active power, and this is your reactive power. This Q is your reactive power. This is Q. This is Q. This Q is your reactive power, and this 60 degrees its power factor angle. This 60 degrees power factor angle. So what will be power? So we can write here what will be the power. So we can say SL is equal to SL load is equal to, this will be equal to S cos phi and plus JS sin phi, right? This is for power, this is for load. From this load I am talking about. So what is V and I? So what will be I we can calculate. This is single phase load, because this is single phase. It is given in our question that this is single phase load, right? So I will be equal to Vt by Z, and Vt is what? Vt is, we are getting here 240 angle 0 degree, and Z we are getting 10 angle 60 degree. So what we are getting? 24 angle minus 60 degree. So what we are getting? I as I we are getting 24 angle minus 60 degree ampere. So it is lagging power factor current, and the current is 24. So what will be S? S will be equal to Vt into I. Vt into I. So 24 into 240. So 5760. 12 into 12 and 24 into 24 is 560 watt. So what we can write here? This is SL. So what? Yes, we can write SL. So what is S? S for load. This S, this I am talking about this S. So this S will be equal to SL and SL. So what will be 5760, and cos phi is cos 60 degree and plus J 5760, and sin phi is sin 60 degree, right? So what we are getting, 5760 into cos 1 by 2 and plus 5760 into this is root 3 by 2. So from calculator we can find out the value. So 5760 divided by 2 and it is coming out to be 2880 and plus j 5760 root 3 by 2, so into 1.732, so this we are getting 4988.16. 4988.16. It means this is P and this is JQ. So what is Q? This is, this is 4988.16 var, and this is this power is 2880. 2880 watt. So power of the load we have calculated and reactive power of the load we have calculated. Now the capacitor is supplying this much power. So if capacitor is supplying this much power, so this power will be additionally supplied by, this will be capacitance. This is the reactive power supplied by capacitor. And what is this? This is 1250. So what will be now S? So S we can write now, S is equal to P plus J QL minus QC, and this P is 2880 and plus J, and QL is 4988.16 and minus this is power 1250. So this will be equal to 2880 and plus J, this is minus 1250 is 3738. So this we can write 3738.16, right? So this is now P and this is now QL. So this, because this capacitor has supplied, this reactive power capacitor has supplied, so certainly your power factor will be improved. Now you have improved power factor phi. This is the power factor you have improved. Now your improved power factor is phi, so we can get phi as this divided by, right, tan phi height upon base, and if we are getting phi, so power factor is cos phi, so we can get cos phi, right? So now the question is, what is the question? So question is asking, just a minute, the question is, yes, the question is we have to find out the real power supplied by the source. So there is no change in the real power, and this is the real power. So our answer will be equal to real power, and this is real power 2880 watt. So option is B, and B is our correct answer. B is our correct answer, right? So B is our correct answer we are getting. So answer is B. So if you are using this technique, you can solve any type of problem. Any type of problem you can solve using this technique. This technique is very good technique, right? So thank you very much.